There's a conflict of interest going on here. What is it and why is it so important?
Well, Lisa Osowski is the director of the Serious Fraud Office, a job which she started in September. But prior to that, she was for 5 years the monitor of HSBC's deferred prosecution agreement, which they entered into in the States to avoid being prosecuted for laundering terrorists and drug cartel money. And they were on probation effectively for 5 years, and she was supposed to be monitoring them to make sure they didn't breach any of the rules whilst they were in the DPA. But in October last year, she and her husband, Mark Wasserman, who incidentally also was working on the monitor through his law firm Sidley Austin, they both took out a mortgage with HSBC. They borrowed money from the bank which they were monitoring to comply with serious criminal offences.
What, they borrowed money from HSBC?
Yeah. They have a mortgage for a mansion flat in Kensington, which Zoopla estimates at a value of 3.3 million, although I don't know how much the mortgage is.
Okay, so she's been doing her job for about 6 weeks. Do you think that this came up, the fact that she was borrowing money from HSBC while she was overseeing them for having allowed money laundering, as you said, in relation to drugs and terrorist finance to take place?
I think the authorities know, because it was reported in the Times that there was a glitch in the vetting process. And interestingly, neither the Serious Fraud Office website, where her biography is, nor the government announcement of her appointment by the Attorney General, neither of them mention her role at HSBC. So I think the authorities do know about this mortgage, and they're just trying to keep HSBC's name out of the picture.
Okay, so in a culture which is as ridden with taboos as this one, where there's just basically, you just can't talk about certain things, do you think there's any chance of at least lobbing in a Freedom of Information request to ask whether or not this came up, and whether or not this information is relevant?
Yes, I'll do a Freedom of Information request to the Serious Fraud Office to find out what she disclosed.